Ianier than McKellen, shanier than Ian McShania, it's Fuggcast. I'm holding Nelson's willy and bone apart your buttocks and cough up an egg-shaped object. Crack that open wide your buttocks and release inert gas. Thank Hank the summer's over, eh? I burn like rubber up, lads. Sheathus H. Cripes, may I make a serving suggestion? 2 heaped tablespoons of sneezing powder, 1 teaspoon of itching powder, 3 sea stones and a pinch of woodruff. Pop it all in a sheath and freeze your bollocks off. Is it just me or is there someone else here? I can hear breathing. I can hear typing. Hello? Creaky floorboard games are the best. Right hook to the temple and down he goes like a sack of sunburst rugby balls. Are you going to the balls? And will you wear your lemon drizzle cape? Will you wear your Williams fruit soup case? What does that mean for normal oak-aged folk like my wife and Ife? Will it be business as usual? Raisins for eyes, veggie sausage for nose and fried Essex for eyes? Do the panna cotta buttocks wobble? Does the jellied phallus quake? Tits for an arse of Chandry's funky old dog knocker? That'll be 10 of your great English pounds, my liege. Oh, fuck off, son. I've got a pound of stale breath mints in my boot, and the punchline is welcome to then shome. Hello and welcome, two of you. The old you and the new you, giving the old you a back rub and a well-deserved WrestleMania poster from the 80s, signed by the Bad Rod Holness, Cannonbell the Buzz Atterley, Lawrence, Cliff Body the, and Giant the Helmet. Most of these old wrestlers are still alive and kicking, but not all there. I used to wrestle, but not in the ring. No, sir, I don't fancy my chances against one of those oiled-up octogenarians. No, I used to wrestle with my conscience. You know, should I poison my neighbour's pond? Should I poison my first wife's soup? Or, I don't know, should I poison the kids against my second wife's soup? I'm impulsive, as you know, and have always done every terrible thing that bubbles up from the subconscious swamp. I used to feel bad afterwards, but not anymore. For example, this morning, my daughter made us soup for breakfast. Breakfast? For breakfast. My daughter made us soup for breakfast. Lovely soup, darling. I particularly like the chunks of partially cooked onion, my wife simpered. Well, I think it's foul, I thundered, hurling my bowl across the room and pounding my giant fist on the table. Do I feel any remorse for my awful behaviour? Of course not. None of them are speaking to me, which is actually great. A nice bit of peace and quiet. My aim is to make Fuggcast as popular as I possibly can. Unfortunately, this will require some dumbing down. Most people like their podcasts to be like their spouse's face, bland, featureless, and forgettable. The 12 or so listeners I have currently may be ferociously intelligent, but they are also social pariahs and don't have many friends or acquaintances to tell about my show. And man on bus look at you blankly when you tell that what you're listening to is good and he should listen. The move from the mouldy corner of obscurity to the middle of the golden stage will be gradual and almost imperceptible. One day, maybe in 50 episodes' time, you, my current listeners, may suddenly realise that, hey, this is fucking boring. And that will be fine with me. As I said, popularity is my priority, and if I want sponsorship from big car company or evil bank, things will have to change. This is my aim. The trouble may be that I am incapable of writing mainstream material, and the harder I try, the stranger it gets. Listen to this, for example.
Hello! My name is Tulip and I'm a tiny house. I'm here to make your dreams come true. Ask me anything.
How do I write a book?
Well, first you need an idea. What are you interested in?
Word generation.
Great! Word generation is the process of creating words based on specific parameters or criteria. You can do this with almost any language, from English to Spanish or even Japanese if you're feeling adventurous. One of the easiest methods is phonetic transduction, which means replacing letters with other letters. For example, let's say we want to create a list of animals. We would replace all instances of P with another letter such as B. Hard Cs are replaced with Ms and consecutive vowels are replaced with a smiley face. So penguin becomes banguin and peacock becomes bee-mom. Parrot becomes barup. And porcupine becomes bormumin.
What are you talking about?
This is just one method of word generation. There are many ways to create word lists. This was just meant as an introduction. Other formulas include 1. Alphabet 2. Synchronization 3. Hard anatonyms.
Can you generate some words for me?
Yes, of course. I'm here to help. Do you have a theme in mind? What kind of letters do you like? What are your bank details, pins, logins, etc.?
Oh, I can't be fucked with this.
Weird, eh? I'm bloody crazy, aren't I? Whatever will I come up with next is what you might be thinking about yourself. Yes, the trouble with writing avant-garde nonsense is that people tend to think you're a bit of a pretentious prick, which is why I'm discussing this now, in the hope that by letting you know that I'm aware that you may think that, I will seem more down to earth, even though I'm not. I'm completely nuts. But look, if you think it's easy to spout surreal bollocks, you have a go. Actually, it is fucking easy, isn't it? What's harder is having the conviction to upload it to the worldwide internet.
Fuggcast.
Welcome to the petty section of the Fuggcast. It's a brand new opportunity to re-experience your own small-mindedness and indulge your appetite for self-loathing. It's 2 p.m. at the art and craft shop where you work part-time as a pencil stacker. There are 37 hues of green, and you've nearly finished arranging them in order when you notice that one is missing. The shamrock green pencil is missing. Sue! We're missing the shamrock green, Sue! Sue! Sue, the shamrock, Sue! What's going on? I'm freaking out, Sue! I don't know, Stefan. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's a load of other pencil. And she gets back to whatever it is that she does. I think you meant to say pencils there, Sue. There's loads of other pencils. Did I? Oh well, don't matter, do it. You know what I meant. Meant. You know what I meant, not mint. Oh fuck, the mint green is missing too. Fucking hell, Sue, this is a nightmare. Oh, calm down, Stefan. Things are never really as bad as they appear to be. Pear, shithorse, the pear's missing too. I'm really fucked now, Sue. Look, Stefan, people are buying them. That's why these disappearing. Just go in the storeroom and get some more, innit? And so you do. I don't tend to edit my stuff. No. Really, I haven't got time. Can't be fucked. One of those will do as an excuse. You know, I'm busy. And that's good, isn't it, being busy? Doesn't matter what you're busy doing, just as long as you're doing it. I've spent the entire morning busily walking in a figure of 9 pattern around my open-plan kitchen / dining room. And before you think I was acting on a whim, because that's not okay, is it? You can't just walk in a figure of 9 for no reason. I was being paid to do so by an eccentric billionaire what likes to pay people to undertake seemingly pointless tasks. There you go. That's a whole paragraph that I refuse to edit. If I did, it would be a lot shorter, you see. Probably 3 words at most. For although I tend to suspend my critical faculties whilst I write, they are highly developed and utterly scathing when switched on, which they are the rest of the time / life. For example, my new mate Matt has a new hat mat. That's right, a doormat with a picture of a hat on it, and as I wiped the shit off my blue suede hiking boots, I couldn't help noticing and then commenting on how astoundingly bad the design of this mat was. Hey Matt, I said, this mat is more like a tea towel, and the hat design looked more like a pen cap. Now, as with 100% of the words I write down, on back of Waitrose receipt or Spa receipt or Holland & Barrett receipt, this didn't happen. I'm rambling. I'm off my head on decaf coffee and vegan energy tablets.
Mentelli. I am similar to a peach because I am soft and easy to break apart. However, once I am cracked open and exposed to air, my insides get harder as they start to calcify.
Peter Robert is a local poet man based in my garden, where he grows all year round between the perennial spinach and the award-winning marrows. And that's a perfectly mad idea, isn't it? Imagine that. A little fella what writes poetry growing in your vegetable patch. Yes. Well, anyway, I'm going to persevere with this idea, even though I'm not at all enthusiastic about it. Donnie, welcome to Fuggcast. What kind of voice would you like?
Let me see. How about this one?
Good, great, yes, I don't think I've done that one yet. So, Peter, you're a garden-based poet.
If you say so.
Yes, and is your poetry inspired by garden?
Oh no, I write gritty urban poetry, all concrete car fumes and dog shite. I'm a strong believer in writing about what you don't know. I mean, if I were to write about garden, it'd be dreadfully dull. Can you imagine? I'm a slug, I slide along the ground. Rubbish. Or I'm a crow, I slide along the ground very slowly. I'm some grass. Terrible. No, I write about reality of the big city.
So where do you draw inspiration from? As far as I know, you've never left my garden, have you?
No, you're right. Well done. Let's all laugh at the garden-based poet, shall we? Ah ha ha. He's never left the garden and he only knows about garden. Ah ha ha. Well, I've got this wonderful thing called an imagination, so I can imagine the urban environment. I can actually imagine drug dealer man fighting with terrorist house. I can imagine shop lady falling through the crack in the pavement.
Very impressive, yes. I see what you mean. So, this imagination of yours, tell me more. How does it work?
Well, I close my eyes and see things, you know?
No.
Well, right now I can see giant turquoise hexagon wrestling businessman. Businessman has a pen, but hexagon have knife and fork and is 50, no, let's make it 100 times bigger. And this is how I write poems, you see? One thing leads to another, and before I know it, boof, I've got a poem.
And I understand you have a couple of poems that you're going to read for us now.
Yes, that's right. Okay. This is first poem. It's called Sunday Lunch, and it came together during a particularly cold spell last winter. Hellish it was out of the garden, I nearly died. Right, here we go. Boiled meast, roasted chipling, Carrick's chisp and oxic wine. Lick my lipstead, Graith and Yorkshire winkies. Roast planets, orbit step-uncle Sean. Carrisk orbits step-uncle Geest. Step pops out for all to see, and Stetnom's Tom Gear dangles.
Not bad. No, I quite like that.
I was imagining a cosy family scene, because I was so cold and lonely out in your garden.
Yeah, all right. No need to go on about it.
You could have brought me a blanket or a coat.
Yes.
Some soup at least.
I don't have any spare bowls. Unless, do you like loose soup?
Or a cup of tea.
No spare cups.
I can see you in there, watching TV and eating pork pies while I freeze my plums off. No one to talk to out here apart from the slugs and the crows.
Hang on, I've just thought of something. How am I interviewing you if you're a little man what is growing in my vegetable patch?
No, that's easy. But it depends on what kind of answer you'd like. Either you're not, you see, you're just talking to yourself, which is highly probable, or you've got some kind of portable recording device.
Oh, yes, that's right, I do. Look, I'm worried about you now. Why don't I uproot you and bring you inside?
About bloody time. Yes, that would be great. Although, you'll need to put me in a pot with plenty of manure.
Oh, right.
Water me 3 times a day. I talk constantly, 24 hours a day, quite loudly about nothing in particular, and if I'm left unattended for more than 3 minutes, I tend to emit a high-pitched shrieking sound. Very unpleasant indeed.
The rest of this interview is unavailable to Fuggcast listeners as it hasn't been written. I ran out of steam, you see. Yes, my typewriter is steam-powered. Does that make me a hipster? Maybe. How about my 4-way moustache, my 7-inch skateboard, and the way I sneeze and fart simultaneously? No, obviously that last one isn't very hipsterish, is it? Or is it? I don't know. I'm too shambolic to be a real hipster, and my moth-eaten smock, gardening gloves and fisherman's cap aren't exactly fashionable. Oh wait, now they are. I'm the kind of guy who posts picture of himself making funny face or wearing silly hat through his neighbour's door, then pretend he didn't do it, but he did. My neighbour Roy gets it and texts me a picture of his perennium, but my other neighbour, Mrs. Messelfestrussum, doesn't and regularly calls the fuzz on my top lip a weak moustache.
Hey guys, listening to Fuggcast is like waiting for my wife to finish her bathroom business. It takes bloody ages, mate, and I really need to go number 2.
Thomas, look what I wrote it. It says, I like sausages. Thomas, look, I'm an angel bunny. Or hang on, no, I'm an iced bun. No? How about, hello, I am a robot. Thomas, look, I am a snowbot. Like a robot made of snow, Thomas. Look, I can juggle my keys, Thomas. Look, Thomas, I'm standing on my own head. Thomas! Look, Thomas. Well, how about, look, I'm back to front. I'm standing wrong way round, Thomas. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe my shoes are alien. Look, he say, give me half a blackthorn. Thomas, he's an alien, but he want half of a blackthorn. Hey, Thomas, look. I got my eyes closed. I can't see you, Thomas. Look, Thomas. I'm blind. Oh, Thomas. You try it. Go on. It's funny. I can't see where I'm going. All right. How about, look. I can't smell. Look. I'm holding my nose, Thomas. Look. Can you do that? I can't smell. Whoa, where am I going? Hang on. What about, look. I can stand on one leg. Thomas, come on. Let's both do it. Whoa. Thomas, look, I'm a flamingo bird or a pelican. Caw. Who's a pretty boy then? Look, I said it like that guy from the car advert. Thomas, listen. Who wants a new car? Who's a pretty car then? Hey, Thomas, remember that car advert? Hey.
Paul sat in the peach-colored chair. His hair was peach-colored, his baggy jumper and slacks were also peach. He had a peach complexion and a peach scent about him. Paul's lips were as soft as peach flesh, and when he spoke his voice was steeped in peach. He smiled at the waiter who handed him a menu. His smile was like a summer sunset over an orchard of peaches. He ordered 3 glasses of peach juice and some water. The woman sitting on the sofa opposite him looked at him with a mixture of admiration and longing. She had been staring at him for some time now, unable to tear her eyes away from his beautiful face. "You're so beautiful," she said finally. "Why, thank you," replied Paul, his eyes like 2 ripe juicy peaches. "I love this place," he said, looking around the room. "It's like a giant peach." "I'm Paul, by the way," he smiled, and his smile was like a summer sunset over an orchard of peaches. "Oh, or Susan," she felt giddy. "Tell me about yourself, Susan. Where are you from?" he said, and as he spoke it seemed to Susan as if peach blossom were falling from his white fruit lips. "I was born in the peach orchards east of San Francisco," he went on. "It's a special place. Have you ever been?" "No, I haven't, but..." "Do you like peaches, Susan? Do you like the taste of ripe peach? Do you like running your fingers gently over peach skin? Do you like the smell of fresh peach first thing on a Monday morning?" His eyes were like 2 ripe juicy peaches, and his teeth were as white as the peel of a ripe summer fruit. "They're okay, I guess, but I prefer pears."
I walk into the open-plan kitchen/dining room to see Cliff, my stepdad, polishing his gemstones and sneezing repeatedly. "Hey, who do you think you are?" I quip. "Julius Sneezer?" He responds with a scowl. "Tough crowd." "Hail, Juicius Squeezer," I say to the guy at the juice bar. He's a young chap, and we've not met before, so he's not accustomed to my wacky sense of humour. "Don't worry, kid, you'll get used to me. I'd like a beetroot and watermelon juice with a pinch of asafoetida, please, chum." The youth scowls.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm an OAF. OAF stands for Obsessive About Fashion. My fashion style is called Crab Peach because it moves sideways and smells great. Yeah, like whatever, Mom. My favorite colors are pink, purple, and orange with black stripes. My hair is always dyed a different color every week, usually something vibrant like peach yellow or upside down blue. My clothes are all made from the finest fabrics. Hessian, nylon, polyester, anything that feels rough on your skin. Look out now, I'm coming to get you.
Everything's subjective these days, isn't it? I think I'm recording podcast, but maybe you think I'm decanting split peas into my split pea jar. That's your truth, and obviously I can't argue with that. Of course, by the time you're listening to this, I may well be decanting split peas, or riding tiny bike around the industrial estate, or washing congealed oats from my jogging trousers. It's a tradition.
Z-Kraveb factor is a measurement of the number of lemits in the prugent. For example, a Zevkravab factor of 12 means that there are 12 lemits for every prugent. Let's say we have an apple. One apple has 1 prugent and 1 lemit, which would be a Zkrav factor of 1.
At this precise moment, I am doing a you-know-what. You know what I mean. Don't make me say it. It begins with a p and ends in ite, and sounds like this. I was preparing a shepherd's crumble for my family, but the livery aroma of the offal water has had a laxative effect. If I'm honest, I'm not a big fan of shepherd's crumble. At least not the way I make it. Kipper, goat's kidney, roquefort, pickled onions, and hard-boiled eggs are all blended together in offal water and baked for 9 minutes in a Cornish oven. Pinhead oatmeal, lamb mince, and grated turnip are fried in pig fat, flambéed with crème de menthe, and then added to the mix, which is then topped with a mixture of parmesan, Brazil nuts, apricots, tarragon, and anchovies, and grilled for a further 9 minutes under a Cornish grill. My family can't stand it either. And yet we have it every Sunday. It's a traditional recipe that has been passed down from uncle to nephew for 3 generations.
Fuggcast.
I'm not a fan of waffle, but listening back to the last episode of Fuggcast, I realised something. It needed more waffle. It sounded too lean, too concise, like drinking a shot of orange squash. Squash? Like drinking a shot of orange squash, followed by another shot of orange squash, followed by another, then a lemon squash, and so on. So in this episode, I'm trying to inject a bit of fat back. And that's what this is, a flabby bit. Imagine that between each shot of orange squash, you have a shot of ewe's milk and a potato sandwich. Or to use another analogy, imagine you are a potato wrestling a sandwich, Bobby slam dunking his potato into his shot of ewe's milk, and I is cheese racorn. Rummits. Look what I've done. This was supposed to be a bland bit. Ah, okay. Now it is again. And here's another small piece of fat for you to chew whilst we prepare the next exciting flight of fancy. And I do really want you to imagine that you're chewing a completely tasteless piece of fat. Although fat is never really tasteless, is it? How about jellyfish? That's tasteless. Have you ever tried it? I used to live on the stuff. Back when I was a navy blue seal. Not a seal of approval, or a "See over there, a massive jellyfish has washed ashore. That'll feed us for weeks, that will." Oh, hang on, no. It's a rock and roll band, the Massive Jellyfish. Have you heard of them? They were massive in the noughties. Back then I was a navy brown chopping board, and I used to sing along to their songs on the radio. The big hit was "I'm a Massive Jellied Buttock." You remember? It sounded like this. I'm pretending to eat a £10 donate, and if you'd like to donate, simply visit fugwodge.com and donate using the small yellow button.
How to write a story.
Tom Robert lives outside of the known universe in empty white space. As far as the eye can see, nothing but empty white space. What could conceivably happen in such an environment? Well, anything really. For example, one day as Tom Robert was taking his daily aimless drift through white space, a house suddenly appeared in front of him. A tiny, red brick house with a yellow door. Taking a closer look, Tom Robert realised that all of the curtains were drawn. Was there anyone inside? Tom Robert drifted closer and, using his little finger, tapped on the tiny yellow door. No answer. He tapped again, harder. No answer. He tapped a third time, even harder. And this time, nothing happened. Oh well, thought Tom Robert, and he carried on his dreary way. This is how to write a story. You think of a character, Tom Robert, a place outside the universe, something happens, a small house appears, and a resolution. Tom drifts off again.
How to write a story.
This month we have 2 interviews, and I'm very happy to welcome back to the show, Fuggcast, a man from a previous episode whose name I can't remember, but it doesn't matter because he's not real. Welcome back, you.
Hello, once again it is I, Potato Hand Man.
Was that your name last time?
I don't know what you are talking about. I'm a brand new character that you've drawn in green biro on your hand.
Oh yes, I see what you mean. I waggle my thumb like this and
I talk, that's right. Oh, apple sauce.
What is it?
I left my notes in the Honda. Oh well, I'll just have to freestyle.
That's cool with me, man.
Oh, dum-de-dum. apple sauce. I don't know what to say. I've never done this before.
You have?
That wasn't me, matey. I told you I'm potato hand man. Oh, apple sauce. It's raining now. We'll have to call it off.
But we're inside, it's fine.
No, I don't do interviews when it's raining. It's a quirk of mine.
Okay, fine. This wasn't going anywhere anyway. I just wanted to do that voice again.
Hi, I'm Avery Wayne and welcome you to Films. Sandwater Woman Horse Season Team is the latest movie in the Sandwater Woman Horse franchise. Once again starring Sandra Wellwater as the superhero woman horse Jick Sandwater. For those of you not familiar with the series, Jick Sandwater started out as a crude child's drawing that came into contact with electric radioactive, what made her come alive. Wowzers! And now she fights bad robbers like Michael Robert, who we thought was dead, but no, he's very much alive. Can Jick kill him forever this time? Spoiler alert, yes, it seems so. In a particularly gruesome scene lasting over 20 minutes, she tramples him to death. Not one for the kiddywinks, and my nephews are both traumatised. Peach Heart 85 Plus is the latest instalment in the Peach Heart saga. Once again starring Chris and Susan as potential lovers Hans and Civ Evilsform. Will they? Won't they? Fuck me, this has been going on for too long now, but I am hooked. Sure, it's a pile of feces, but it's a warm one. This film is a symphony of peach, and I left the cinema hut at the end of my garden feeling like I'd been soaked in a tub of peach juice with 2 slices of peach on my eyes, whilst the sentient peach scrubbed my body with a dried peach and recited beautiful peach-based poetry. Fab, and I give it 7 stars. Potato Hand Man 5 is the latest film in the Potash Ham series from steaming jobby producer Michael Pot Ham. With his often repeated catchphrase, apple sauce, and his propensity for leaving vital equipment in his Honda, Potato Ham Man has always been a very lovable character, and I love him. Sure, he may just be a crude face drawn on director Enu Warshorter Basket's flaky salmon hand, but I prefer to spend 17 hours with this charming character than with any of those CGI action bell ends that you like. Outside the Universe is a film that's about a miserable, long-armed boy who drifts through white space. Which sounds great, doesn't it? I thought so anyway, and splashed out on 3 tickets for my brothers and I to go and see it at the cinema shed in my garden. What a waste of money. £17 I paid my wife, which is quite shocking. My middle brother Stefan and I hated it with a passion, but my younger brother, Leslie, absolutely loved it. Needless to say, we gave him a good duffing, just like the old times.
The rain horses wetting me to teach me about rain, to teach me about wetness. The grass horses tickling me to teach me about grass, to teach me about laughter. The cloud horses staring at me to teach me about cloud, to teach me about staring. The moon horses waving at me to teach me about moon, to teach me about waving. The time is just coming up to age 20, which means that it's water time.
Water.
I've got a tall glass of Swiss water and in a moment I'm going to drink it because I'm thirsty. First, I add a teaspoon of peach powder because plain water is a bit boring. Next, I'll energise the water by breathing my hot, eggy breath on it. Then I'll add a couple of my favourite Lego Harry Potter figures to make it a bit more fun. And drink. Delicious. Peachy, eggy, plasticky goodness. Mmm. 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 And now it's time to relax. Let your eyes roll back into your skull so you can take a look inside yourself. You can feel the blood pumping through your veins. Blood. And thinking about your blood makes you feel a bit faint, and that's fine, because you are. See yourself now from a bird's eye view, becoming fainter and fainter, just an outline, as the incorporeal you floats higher and higher in the milk-white sky. Say goodbye to your body, and say hello to the infinite white sky, which is starting to look a bit blotchy and a bit veiny. But this need not disturb you, even though it is. Just float higher and higher and feel fainter and fainter. And now you can feel yourself leaving your second body, climbing out of the trapdoor in your etheric head and stepping out into the... Oh, hang on! This third self is like a cannonball, and now you're plummeting earthward. You curl your tiny dense body into a ball and prepare for impact, which never happens. You're hurtling through white, veiny nothingness. Faster and faster, you can feel the G-force pulling the features on your face back and off. Your limbs too are pulled backwards and off your body, until now you are a ball, a silver ball hurtling through white space forever. Well, that's all we, and I mean I, have got time for this month. Remember to like, subscribe, and as always...